So hear me out real quick. I was having a conversation earlier with a friend of mine, and my boy hit me. He was like, man, honestly, how can I keep going on with the thought process that's going through my head? How and this is when I be saying people that I'm talking to, these are real people just like you and I, and sometimes when people have a certain kind of trust in you, a certain kind of faith in you, they know you don't have no ill will toward anyone. They kind of release more of how they feel about life to you, and you guys can talk it out because you've shared with them a number of things that you've actually been through, and so you guys can vibe on that level, vibe on that page. It's good to be the kind of free spirited person that a person can come talk to, because you never know what you're saving that person from doing. See, when you become, and this is just speaking from my experience, when you become a light worker, and every time you jump in your car, or every time you step back out into the world just for a day or for a few minutes, or for your work day, or whatever you're doing, you realize how many people have yet come to be where you are. A lot of the light workers have a shield over them, to a certain extent. And I had this saying that I made up. I was at the gym, and I was talking to somebody, and we were talking, and I made the statement. I said, man, it's crazy how you can be so close to people in certain states you go to. Certain states you go to, people are always speak and say hi, and then other places you go, you can be like right up on the person, like in the gym or on the street, or what, just somewhere where people just won't say hi. And then I made up this. I was like, well, out here in Cali, the rent is too high for people to say hi. So they got their mind on something else. And that's probably paying bills or what have you. So it begins to create the stress level, or what we like to refer to as stress. You know what I mean? So we was talking, and the only thing that I can say is, man, gratefulness is what I do. Gratefulness is what I think about. Being grateful is what happens. Is what happened when that that energy of depression wants to try and take over. I immediately go into a state of gratefulness, and it saves me. It actually saves me. It does me a world of good, because if I stay stuck on what is presently happened, something, you'll get a letter in the mail. You're like, man, what the hell is this, dude? You was on a good vibe, you rolling in all of a sudden, but there's there's a there's a chemistry that takes over once, when I learned, when you practice it, that that is anti-depression, and it's all in your own head, it's all in your own mind. I've been doing it for a while because I had to ask God, how do you live on this planet? Because it seemed like if you don't have $1 million in the bank or more, or sometimes you can even have that and still not have the happiness or the joy that you should be feeling every day. So I feel it like if you well off, there's no way you should be depressed. But people still get depressed. We hear about it. We hear about the people being depressed and committing suicide and what have you. But I told my dude, man, I was like, check this out. This is what I do. I do my best to try to keep myself in a constant state of gratefulness. I mean, it's not always easy, but it works. Got something crawling on me. But it works, though. It works. It works, man. It works better than anything else I've ever tried. You know what I mean? Except for being close to someone you love or something like that, and enjoying their company or what have you. But it works better than anything that I've ever tried in my life. And that's trying to maintain and stay in a constant state of gratefulness. Hope this helps somebody. God bless.